today I've had a bad robot day. Officially a bad robot day. So it started off yesterday, my uncle randomly saying that he wants to go out for another meal. I ain't going to turn down free food. So I said yes, but then he started saying that he is going to leave at 5 in the morning and that he wants to make sure that I'm still okay with this arrangement. Even though he only called me last night, he just wants to make sure that I'm still okay before he leaves. So he was going to call me at 5 in the morning, and I was like, no, can you not? Like, if you want to get here at 6, fine. He was going to come to my house. I mean, he was going to go to the centre, but because of the bombing or the something that happened, I haven't seen it, but he heard about this morning. He told me that there was some sort of bombing, or was it last night? I think it was last night he told me, actually. Last night he told me there was some sort of bombing in Germany, a German market, and because of that he now no longer wants to go to the Birmingham market, even though the Birmingham market is not that big. It's pretty safe. The chance of it happening two places at the same time is very unlikely. But yeah, he didn't want to in case it did happen again, because he now no longer felt safe about going to the market, so he was going to come to my house instead. And so he was just going to come at 6 in the morning. And okay, I don't really want to see him at that time, but I know all he'll do is come in and then want to fall asleep on the sofa for a couple of hours, so all I need to do is let him in. So that was the plan. But I wake up at 9, still hasn't called me. And then at 10 o'clock he does call me and says sorry, he overslept, so he didn't actually make it, which is kind of normal behaviour for him. But because he'd left it so late, he wanted to meet in town, and I had this thing with Netflix. Someone had hacked into my account and added a second user and also upgraded to premium. I'm sure I appreciated not having the adverts, but to be honest, it did take me a couple of weeks to realise that I wasn't getting adverts. I kind of remember not getting adverts. If you're watching YouTube a lot and you're seeing all the adverts and then you turn to Netflix and you start not seeing adverts, I guess it took me a while to realise that I wasn't seeing adverts, because I would often watch Netflix and YouTube at the same time. Like, say I would watch YouTube on my phone and Netflix on the computer or something like that. I mean, I kind of often do that. And if you're seeing adverts on this and not seeing adverts on that, sometimes it's hard to recognise that you're not seeing adverts on one thing. So anyway, it took me 6 weeks to realise that I wasn't getting adverts on my Netflix. And then when I went to go and check my bank statements, just to make sure that no random payments have come out, because a couple of times that's happened, where hackers have gone into paid for something. I had a pet insurance being paid for, and I don't know, but hacking is quite kind of a bad thing. But yeah, it is interesting how I feel like I'm sort of connecting with people from X and Twitter, and I feel like at the same time I'm also reminded about the dangers of hacking. And X is definitely a different type of market to Twitter. I didn't like Twitter because you'd read some of the things on there and it just seemed like mindless, stupid, short, pointless. That's kind of that was my view on Twitter. Even though it was appreciated and a lot of people liked it, I felt like it was just a big dummy crowd, like a nursery. An image of some people at the top who are running it and trying to keep order. How in a nursery you can have like babies throwing things at each other, and the nursery nurse have to try and like calm them down and stuff. So I feel like that was what Twitter was about, just twats being twattish. And X has definitely upgraded it into a sort of older, maturer market, more cyber geeks and people that want to, I don't know, I'm not saying it's bad, it's better, but is it better if some of no one wants their bank account hacked, and no one wants their Netflix account, people to break into their Netflix account, start adding extra people onto there, and also hiring up the prescription. I think if they would have just added themselves onto it, so that I was just paying £5 a month extra, I probably could have gone a couple of months without noticing it. It was only because I was going through to see if there aren't any like big payments, and there was a £22 payment from Netflix, and I was like, well, what's that? And it turned out that someone had hacked into my account and done that, and I called Netflix, and they've taken that person off, and they've put it down to the original deal that I had, and given me a refund, but they said they couldn't do it on the October month because the whole month had passed and I hadn't said anything or realised that someone is it. So yeah, for me to get that money, I had to dispute it, and I kind of wasn't tempted to, because according to my count, for like 2 days after I'd stopped it, it was still saying that I was on a premium. So I thought maybe they would keep me on a premium rate until the end of the month and then downgrade me, but it turned out that they downgraded me as soon as I got the refund, basically, or maybe a day later. But yeah, because of that, I feel more motivated to try and make back the £17 that I lost on. It's not about the money. I just think if I can get that £17 back, it might actually make me want to be on Netflix for another 3 months, as a sort of thank you for giving it back. Now I'm wanting to spend it. So I don't know, but I know if things like this happen, it makes you not want to become part of a subscription. If you can sign up to a prescription and then find that someone else has hacked into your account, upgraded your prescription to something a lot more expensive, and is taking advantage by signing on to your account whilst, it's bad, and that's basically what's happened over the last 6 weeks. So it's interesting how I'm connecting with all people from X, and I just feel like their market is more the cyber people. But yeah, the cyber people know how to do things like hacking, and it's annoying. I think the person who did that was greedy. Not only did he want to hack into my account and just be able to use it, he didn't like the fact that I was on the basic $4.99 account, and he upgraded it so that instead of paying $4.99, I was paying $7.99 and paying for his and it's a selfish, that to me felt like a selfish thing that someone would do. It's not about the money. I don't even care about the money. I don't even know if I want to trace up the extra £17 that I lost in October, because I was enjoying it. I was grateful not to have the adverts, and in a way I feel a bit cheap for not paying the £11 for it. But yeah, when you've got Netflix and YouTube and they both want you to pay £12, I think if you have loads of prescriptions to loads of different things, it starts making you want to be more loyal to the one that you're paying the most for. But at the same time, do you want to be loyal to it, or do you want to, like, if I was paying £5 on Netflix and I wasn't really watching it, I don't think I would care. Whereas if I was paying £22 for Netflix, I would be wanting to watch it as much as possible to get as most value for money from it. And there, it would be kind of annoying to think that I just paid £23 when I wasn't really appreciating or using it to the full value. And I don't even know if half the things, if anything, that I watched was only on premium. I don't know. I just thought I was on the basic. But anyway, it's just making me think of that, and I think I might try and chase up the extra £17, but not because I want the extra £17, but because I can use that £17 to have an extra 3 months prescription, which is probably something I should do. But anyway, so I'm having a bad robot day because of all that. My uncle being a bit weirdo, and when we got to the restaurant, all the seats were taken, so we left, but instead of waiting like 10 minutes, we ended up doing a little tiny walk around the Chinatown Centre, where they have like 10 restaurants, and we ended up eating there because he didn't want to walk any further. The 1 minute walk was about as much as he wanted to walk, and he didn't want to go to a Wetherspoons. There's actually like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 Wetherspoons in Birmingham, but those are about the only pubs. Other than, there's like maybe a couple of other ones, but having a decent meal. It's all Thai, Chinese and stuff, and we went to a Chinese and it wasn't very nice. The vegetables just were not cooked properly at all. The meat itself was lovely, although my uncle didn't eat the skin or the fat or the bone, and so there was very little meat that he actually ate, and the vegetables weren't cooked, and the soup that came with this £10 meal tasted like a rotting mushroom that's just in a bunch of shit. It wasn't very nice, but anyway, it was an experience. But yeah, again, just, do they not realize that vegetables have to be soft? Both of them were hard. It was almost like eating like a salad or something, but it wasn't. It was like, this is supposed to be soft. But yeah, it kind of made me feel like they were a little bit like robots cooking, and they just didn't know how to cook, even though they were running a restaurant. I wasn't too impressed. And then I went to the market, and I had so many things running on my mind. Actually, I went to the market before I met my uncle, because my uncle was actually an hour late when I was cycling. I was planning on going to the bank, and I knew it closed at 12:30 because I wanted to ask questions about this thing. But yeah, it turned out my uncle was running an hour late and didn't get there till about 2, or 1:30, so I had about an hour to walk around, and I went to the market, and during that time I saw like this pasta sauce with some cheese, Parmesan cheese, which is a really nice, I think it's the one that has Anna in its name, and then Anna Rana or whatever, I don't know what it is, but it was some really nice pasta sauce, and I swear I said 2 for £1, and I was thinking, that's quite good. And then there was also this other one that I had, which was 3 for £1, and so I thought I'd get that. And then I saw some donuts. I had loads and loads of donuts for £2. But yeah, when I went to pay, they'd actually said £2.50 for the donuts, and I was going to say it says £2 on the sign, but then they said that the pasta sauce was 50p, and I was like, I'm sure it said £1, so if you're going to charge me 50p more for the donuts and 50p less for the thing, I'm not going to say anything. So I didn't say anything, and I just let them do up the charge, even though I was like, that's not really wrong. I mean, it's inaccurate. And then I went to the sign as I was walking past, and I noticed that it did actually say 2 for 50p, and therefore they had just added 50p on the donuts, and it didn't add up to be the same. But I was like, why the hell did I think that it said 2 for 2? Why the hell did I think it said 2 for 50p when it said 3 for 50p? But then I went 2 doors, just 2 markets down, and then came back to go round, and then I realised it didn't say 2 for 50p, it said 3 for 50p, and I was like, well, what's going on with my brain? First I thought it was 2 for £1, and then I thought it was 2 for 50p, and now it's saying 3 for 50p, and then I because I literally just about a minute later, I kind of said, I thought it said 2 for 50p, but it says 3 for 50p, and then and because I also paid 50p extra for the donuts, I kind of felt more inclined to say, can I have another one, because I should have had 3, not 2. And I thought I picked it up and put it in my bag, but I think what I actually did was I just picked up one that was in my bag already to show it, to prove that I just bought it a minute ago, and then I ended up putting it back in my bag and not picking up another one. I don't know what happened, but I felt like my brain just kept glitching or changing, and then I was thinking about just loads of other things on my phone, and so I was just like, I don't know. I felt like my mind was just in so many different places that I couldn't actually focus on what I was doing, and I was also waiting for my uncle, and then there was a thing about Disney that I posted, and then I found a 50p hairband that has a Disney Mickey Mouse thing on it. I was like, oh, that's cool. So I bought a hairband as well, but yeah. I don't know. Have you ever had these moments when you just feel like your brain just like glitched or something? Because yeah, I went back to get another set of those. So I should have 6 basically. I should have 6 of the RANA pasta sauces, and 3 of this sort of bucket thing. I like pasta sauce because I have it with a lot of pasta, so I should have that, but one of them's actually missing, and I don't understand how it's gone missing, because I'm pretty sure I picked it up from the thing and put it in my bag. I don't think I went into my bag, picked it up, showed it, and then put it in my bag thinking that I don't know, but I'm having a bad robot day, and then yeah, and that meal was disgusting, and what else am I going to say? Yes, I think that's all I want to say.